Well, big week in politics. We saw the final debate, of course. We saw some fresh attacks, and we saw quite a bit of comedy. Both candidates doing their stand-up acts at the Al Smith charity dinner. John McCain made good with David Letterman, made up a little bit. Also, Joe Biden on Jay Leno's set. And Sarah Palin last night on Saturday Night Live, the premise for this sketch on Weekend Update, she really didn't want to do the script that they had written for her, so Amy Poehler takes the role of the vice presidential candidate.
In the house, put your hands up. All the mavericks in the house, put your hands up. All the plumbers in the house, put your pants up. All the plumbers in the house, put your pants up.
She's playing along, and doesn't have the laugh lines, but playing along. And join us now to break down the week in political comedy. Two contributors to the hottest political satire site on the web, 23/6. Some of the news, some of the time. Is that the way it works? Something like that.
Most of the time?
Most of the time. Some of the news,
Yeah.
most of the time. Lee Camp, Lori Kilmartin, thanks for being here.
Sure, thanks for
Good
having
morning.
me.
Well, obviously, the Alaska governor has been manna from comedy heaven for Tina Fey.
Yeah.
What about for your site?
She's everything to our site. I mean, I checked this morning, we've done 378 stories on Sarah Palin out of 380 total. I love her. I have gay cowboy love for Sarah Palin, and I don't want to live without her. She's fascinating. She's from a state that I thought had melted. I didn't even know Alaska still was around, and she has 20 kids, and they live in a shoe. Can't get enough of Sarah.
I think all of America loves her because they make us feel good about ourselves. I mean, if she gets elected, she will be the first VP who went to community college.
Do you give her points for going on SNL last night?
Yeah, I guess.
I give her
gets points for showing up.
But that's all she did was show up.
Yeah.
It's like, do something.
Right.
Yeah.
She had one or two laugh lines in the beginning, but it almost seems like they may have written something for her that maybe she may not have been too keen on.
Right. I see.
Something with like a sense of humor, perhaps.
Steve Schmidt's like, you can make us look good. We don't want to win this thing.
Another great character into your world this week, Joe the Plumber.
Yeah, we've been working with him. And actually for the site, 236.com, I often write fake letters from McCain to people or whatnot, or voicemails from McCain. I did a voicemail between him and Palin. This was to Joe the Plumber saying, sorry, he's apologizing for thrusting him into the spotlight, for saying he's a plumber when he's not, for saying he makes 40 grand when he doesn't, and he'd actually get a tax cut under Obama's plan. So I think he shouldn't have called him Joe the Plumber. He should have called him Joe the poor example of how my tax plan's better.
You know, it's also an example of how sick you get of things in the news cycle so quickly now. Like when they mentioned Joe the Plumber in the debate, it was like, oh, who is this guy? And then by the time he gave his first press conference the next morning, it's like, Joe, get out of my face.
Isn't it? Yeah, complete inundation.
I wish MoveOn.org would move on past Joe the Plumber. Get the country behind moving on.
Yes. Well, let that be a warning to any of you who want to ask the candidate a question on the stump. And so let's break them down. Some report cards on their appearances this week. John McCain on David Letterman. Well, let's do them in order. We'll start with Palin on SNL.
Okay, and we get to use the telestrator.
You get to use your telestrator?
Very
Look at this. This is high class.
All right.
I'm going to give
Lori?
her an F because she was humorless. And I think the only reason they brought her back on Update is to prove that Alec Baldwin didn't throw her off the top of 30 Rock's roof.
Lee?
I definitely give her an F, but I give the guy in the moose suit an A because that took cojones, man. She's trigger happy. He's in a moose suit. You gotta be
It's
careful.
a recipe for disaster. McCain on Letterman.
McCain on Letterman, I give an A. I give him an A for showing up and taking it like a man, and I would expect no less from a POW.
Yeah, well, he's tough. There's no
right.
discounting that. Lee?
I give him, hopefully this will be a C. Yes, I give him a C. It was like really more like a B/D because he started out fine. He was relaxed. He was cool. And then it got serious and he got tense and it
Dave grilled him a little bit.
Dave grilled him and he got nervous.
So the last 30 seconds, Biden on Leno.
Biden on Leno was a C. He just did talking points. He's a guy you think's gonna be funny because he's Irish Catholic
Right.
from the East Coast, and then you're like, oh, he's not.
Not so much.
Yeah, I'll give him a C. I give him a C only because he looks the most like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons of any politician. So.
And then the Barack Obama in terms of fairness, equal time here.
He gets an A for not showing up. We're not even talking about him. He's just rolling in the money, right?
That's it. Just raising money.
Yeah, I'll give him a I don't know, a B maybe. But yeah, he hasn't shown up, but it's like, come on, man, do some comedy.
Trying to find the comedy there.
Do
All
some
right.
comedy.
Thank you both for being here.
Oh, I was going to say my funniest moment when McCain called us his fellow prisoners. That was the best.
23.6 is the website. Very funny stuff. Thanks for being here this morning.